Well, Europe is China with a brain, and I know that sounds bad, but that's kind of how it feels. China, especially FPX, are still a very aggressive team, and I think mechanically they have the ability to match a team like G2. They will play what will look like a similar style visually to a lot of fans, but with different priorities on what lanes they like to play around. But they do not have the same thought process, setup, or consistent, clean performance that Europe showcases in multiple teams across the region.
Okay, well, only Worlds will tell. We can theorize as much as we want, but tonight we're going to see something real. That is the two best teams in EU face off in a battle that will go down in history. G2 versus Fnatic, the MSI champions versus the Worlds finalists, and the first time we see them face off in a best of 5 in 2019. I think that in and of itself is pretty exciting.
I mean, it's the difference between saying champions versus finalists, and that's why this matchup still, it's like, yeah, we're really excited to see Fnatic versus G2. We don't really know how close it's gonna be.
Right. I mean, based on regular season, 2-2, Fnatic always found ways to actually punish G2. First in the early game, and in the one game we actually showed before this broadcast started, they also managed to win the late game against them. So I think Fnatic have shown they have the tools, at least in best of ones. The problem is just G2 in playoffs, like Cap said in the opening video.
Yeah.
Now we take it like really serious, and there is an extra gear. We tried it ourselves in spring. It's not the same team you play in the regular season as the one you're facing in playoffs.
I think one of the stats that Vedius threw out yesterday is the only team to take games off of G2 in a best of 5 has been SKT. And like, they haven't played that many best of 5s, but that just kind of goes to show how untouchable this team is.
Well, we'll see in predictions later, but are you guys then ready to dispel this notion of, yes, Fnatic is strong, and they can't be as strong as they were last year because Caps is on G2 now, but they're still very strong. And G2 is just on a different planet. So we're hearing a lot of it's going to be so close. It's the best they've ever played versus each other in a best of 5. But is that really the truth if G2 is so much better than anything else in the league?
I think Fnatic, they know of certain ways they can actually punish G2 because they've already done this twice now. They've failed it themselves. Mainly through the early game with someone like Broxah and Hylissang actually forcing a lot of plays on very aggressive laners. So I don't think Fnatic will go into this game feeling like they don't have a chance or they don't know what to do to beat G2. The problem is you always have a plan when you face G2. And sometimes, very quickly, that plan can get thrown out the window because they just out-muscle you.
They're having fun. They're relaxing. They're doing a happy dance or it's hand
Broxah's ready. He knows, man. It's all about him here. He needs to gank.
For me, it's kind of like the issue of, yeah, we've seen Fnatic take down G2, but how many times do they get the exact circumstances they need to be able to execute on that? Because it feels like when you're going to this, the safe money will always be on G2 because you know that they have multiple different win conditions that they can attack you with.
I wonder if anyone voted for Fnatic, actually.
Or that will be the question. Like, how much did the Fnatic fans come out to skew the vote?
Well, I will say, though, they've shown 2 different ways of beating G2. One in the early game, one in the late game. Different kind of compositions as well. One was win bot lane, one was play away from bot lane. So we don't know, actually, if there are other ways for Fnatic to do this in a best of 5 series.
Now, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the matchup and the analysis in just a little bit. But first, we've got a spicy duel in the top lane. And for more, here's Laure with Bwipo.
Thank you very much, Shox. Laure here, and joining me right now is Bwipo.